Howdy folks, you're on the C8 Speed 252 show. Scroll over to the right, click that subscribe button, and join this awesome community. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the episode of C8 Speed 252. Before I get into this video, I want to apologize for not releasing any videos lately, at least not a lot. I've been super busy with work, trying to grow my small business to reach my dreams. You know, you guys know my dream car is a Lamborghini, so I'm trying to grow my business and reach that goal at some point. But I thank you guys for understanding and watching this video. Also, today is my birthday. Yes, today is my birthday. Thank you guys who reached out to me on my social media platforms to wish me a happy birthday. I greatly appreciate it. The only birthday gift that I ask from you guys is to definitely give this video a thumbs up and leave your comments down below. I mean, literally smash the thumbs up button. Also, give everybody else a comment down in the section below a thumbs up as well. And that's the only birthday gift I'm asking from you guys. Also, if you want to check out my website, please feel free to do so, which is www.c8speed252.com. You will see this bad boy, this shirt right here on the website. You will also see the C8 Speed 252 key tag, which is a popular selling item right now. Definitely go ahead and get yours before these bad boys sell out. I appreciate you so very much. Also, you guys, I am super stoked to talk about the mid-engine Corvette. Now, I receive a lot of emails lately because I know you guys are getting your cars. I'm super stoked. I mean, a lot of you guys have been emailing me. You got your Zeus Bronze. I'm not gonna lie. That Zeus Bronze color is really growing on me. I didn't think I was gonna like it that much when I saw it for the first time on that Cadillac, but man, that Zeus Bronze color is sharp. If you take a look at Zeus Bronze and you actually got like nice dark tinted windows with a nice set of wheels, the Zeus Bronze color, don't you guys sleep on it. And you gotta think about it, like, I'm a unique guy, I like different colors. Obviously this color will not be unique whatsoever. This is a very popular color, but the Zeus Bronze will be a popular color. You won't see Zeus Bronze on any other car outside of Cadillacs and the Corvette, at least not that I know of. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, tell me if I am, but I haven't seen Zeus Bronze on any other car out there in the world. I am super stoked for all of you guys who are currently getting your 2020 C8 Mid Engine Corvette, and I apologize to the guys who put in an order for the 2020 Corvette and will not get it until 2021. It's one of those things where I know there was a lot going on this year that kind of postponed that, and I know you guys are really wanting your 2021 Corvettes and your 2020 Corvettes, whatever the case may be, but I'm telling you right now, be patient, trust the process. I'm telling you, you will enjoy the car so much. The car is a fabulous car to own. I'm telling you right now, look at that. Look at it, look at the body line. Look how crisp and clean this thing looks. I'm telling you right now, you should definitely wait out. I know a lot of you guys are gonna go out and probably buy a Porsche or, whatever the case may be, do you think that you just can't wait on this car? But I'm telling you right now, definitely wait on the 2020 Corvette. It's a fabulous car to own, a fabulous car to drive. You will not hate this car whatsoever. I've seen a few pop up on the used car market. I can tell you right now, I love this car, but it is not worth paying $120,000, $30,000 for unless you spec it out that much for MSRP. There's a lot of dealerships that are selling this car with MSRP, and I say shame on you guys, because I know this car's a hot commodity, but we all are trying to just enjoy a beautiful car that Chevrolet made. Why try to rip people off with buying a car that's over MSRP? Maybe $1,000, $2,000, fine. But when you start reaching to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, this is insane. You know, one guy posted on some type of forum saying that he was selling a 2020 C8 Corvette that had 1,000 miles on it. I think the sticker was probably 85,000 bucks, and he was trying to sell it for $125,000. And then at the end of the pricing, he says, "Don't come lowball me." What do you mean lowball? So you don't want nobody to lowball you on you selling your car for $125,000, but at the same time, you're trying to raise the price up to get extra money out of people just because this is a hot commodity car. Now, obviously, within 2021, once this car has been, built more, and you'll see a lot more convertibles and a lot more coupes out there, the pricing will, go down on these cars. But come on, you guys, like, it's one of those things where I am blessed and truly grateful that I got my car MSRP, but don't try to rip people off. This is the year where a lot of stuff went wrong, a lot of people lost their jobs and stuff like that. Why would you try to rip other people off? Sell the car for what it's worth. Don't try to, I guess, get a lot of money off of other people. That's just unfair. I don't have any plans on selling my car. I really do enjoy my car. I really appreciate it a lot. The content has been great. You guys have been great. I've been enjoying this car so very much. You know, like I said before, the sleek body lines, to the headlight, to something that's just American made and drives good, feels good, and I really greatly appreciate this car so much. So the guys who are out there selling those cars over MSRP, shame on you, but hey, that's not my business model. I don't own that business, so I have no control over it. But for you guys who are in the market for a 2020 or 2021 C8 Corvette, definitely wait, because you're definitely going to understand what I mean by you're going to love this car so very much, and you're going to appreciate what it has to offer. And a lot of you guys might not even be interested in getting a 06 once you buy a Stingray. I am interested in the 06 because I never own a car with a lot of horsepower. I've owned my C7 Grand Sport, which is 465 horsepower. Now this with 495 horsepower. So there really aren't too much difference in horsepower. Granted, this is faster than a Grand Sport because the motor in the back and it instantly take off. I haven't really seen too many cars beat this car from a dig other than a 720S and a Tesla. That is about it. Other than that, if I'm wrong, you guys, you know, let me know down below. I would like to see and hear what other cars have actually beat a C8 Mid Engine Corvette from a dig. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate what this car has to offer. As you guys know from the title, that question came from a lot of my followers, the guys that are interested in buying a C8 Corvette, from the guys who's interested in buying a C7 Corvette, from the guys who are interested in buying a Corvette in general, of any you know, C5, C6s, whatever the case may be. A lot of guys have been asking me, what is my insurance on this car? What is my monthly insurance payment on this car? Because when you think about it as a young kid, you kind of want to know how much insurance costs, because you want to put it in your budget. You want to figure out if you can afford this car or not, because a lot of people get understanding that when they buy a sports car, the insurance could be super expensive, depending on what kind of car you have, what kind of, you know, specs you're looking at, and all that stuff. And all that stuff does make a big difference in your insurance payment. Now I get emails from older gentlemen who's driving, you know, Corvettes in general. They also ask me, you know, how much is my monthly insurance payment, because for them, they're probably trying to save money. So at the end of the day, a lot of stuff is going to fluctuate with your insurance payment. So when I get into those details, I'm going to explain why my insurance payment is what it is. So first of all, for you guys that's in the market to buy any type of car whatsoever, sports car, any car related, your insurance is going to fluctuate a lot. You know, one of my homeboys texted me recently. He just bought a Hellcat, and he contacted me and asked me how much my insurance was, and I told him. He said, oh yeah, my insurance will be cheaper than yours, so you own a Corvette, two-door sports car, and I own a four-door Dodge Hellcat. And I was like, why do you expect that? He was like, yeah, my insurance should be cheaper than yours because you got a Corvette and I got a Hellcat. And our price for the cars was pretty much the same. I actually paid $84,000 out of the door, taxes, tax, title, and fees for my car. He paid $85,000 for his taxes, tax, fees out of the door as well, which I don't understand why a Hellcat Demon costs as much as a C8, but hey, I don't know. I don't own that car. That's just neither here nor there. Anyways, a lot of things can fluctuate your insurance payment for any car that you buy. Your age, if you have any speeding tickets, little things like that can fluctuate your insurance payment all day long, including how many cars you got, OT policy discount, and so forth and so forth. Another thing that a lot of people don't understand, which will fluctuate your insurance, is one, how expensive the car is. Actually, you know, like obviously owning this car compared to owning a Lamborghini, the Lamborghini insurance payment is going to be a lot more. The Lamborghini payment in general will be a lot more. It's one of those things where the more expensive the car is, the more expensive it's going to cost to insure that car, the more expensive repairs you're going to have as well. And I just one of those things where you know, insurance is one of those things you need to definitely work inside of your budget. So I'm going to explain a few things to you guys regarding how insurance also still works. So if you take I'm going back to the C7 generation. If you go back to the C7 generation, if two gentlemen the same ages, let's go ahead and say 30 years old, both are 30 years old, both have the same insurance company, both, you know, make the same amount of money, both have the same color car, both have 2015 Corvettes, C7, one is a 2015 C7 Stingray, the other one is a 2015 Z06. You guys want to think that maybe those insurance payments will probably be the same, but that is not true. You think that since those cars were made in the same model year, built by the same company, same kid, same person, same insurance company, that those cars are going to be about the same, but they're not going to be the same. The reason why they're not going to be the same is because the Z06 has a supercharger on it, which is more liability more reason to give that person that drive that car faster and actually get into a little bit more probably chances of having a car accident. For instance, the Stingray, the C8 Stingray and the C8 C7 Stingray is naturally aspirated, right? So that plays a big factor in your car insurance as well. So for a lot of you guys who are out there trying to go get a Corvette and you want to know how much your insurance is going to cost you, this is what I advise you do. This is go for any car, not just the Corvette, for any car, whether it's a Honda Civic, Prius, what the case may be. Call your insurance company and tell them you're interested in purchasing a new car. At least that's what I do with my insurance company. I'm sure this should work for every other insurance company. Contact your insurance company, tell them you about to purchase a new car. At that time, tell your insurance company what the VIN number is of that car. If you're looking on AutoTraderCars.com, whatever the case may be, each of those profiles should give you a VIN number of some sort. If it doesn't have the VIN number on there, contact the dealership of that vehicle and get a VIN number. Once you get that VIN number, take it to your insurance company and say, hey, I am interested in buying this car. Can you please tell me how much the insurance may cost me? Give me a rough estimate, right? So if they say like 80 to 90 bucks, you can kind of plan for that, because if you buy a car thinking, insurance is going to be cheap or expensive, I mean, that's the case, but you need to figure out how much it's going to cost you so it can fit in your budget. Because when you buy a car, a lot of stuff comes with buying a car. The car payment, the insurance, the gas, the maintenance, all that stuff is a big deal when you're trying to buy a new vehicle. Now, I guess new vehicle to you, but if you're buying a brand new car, for instance, like the C8 was, like I bought it brand new, I don't really have any maintenance on this car just yet. I haven't had my first oil change yet because I haven't reached that mark. I haven't had any tires, obviously. Everything else is covered in warranty. So the maintenance in the beginning for a brand new car is pretty low. But if you're going out there to buy a brand new car to you, which could be a C6 Corvette or a C5 Corvette or a C7 Corvette, and it's not under warranty, something's going to break down at some point, and that's going to cost you. So one of those things you want to make sure is that all this stuff fits in your budget, and insurance payment is definitely important. So another thing that plays a big part in your insurance is if you have any current speeding tickets. If you contact your insurance company and you tell them that you're interested in purchasing a new car and you give them the VIN number, any previous speeding tickets will actually increase your insurance as well. Insurance is one of those things where the faster the car, the most likely chance you get into a car accident. Obviously, the insurance is going to be more expensive for a Corvette than it will a Prius. Even though both of those cars are technically cars and they're on the road, you have a most likely chance of getting in a car accident when you're driving a Corvette than you will a Prius. Why? Because you have a most likely chance of speeding in a Corvette than you would a Prius. If you're on a road driving one day and you're driving a Corvette and another Corvette come up beside you, or a Mustang or a Hellcat or a Lamborghini, I'm sure you're going to test the waters. If you're driving a Prius, Corvette come up beside you, and a Mustang come up beside you, you most likely ain't going to floor it. If you do, you must have a secretly supercharged Prius, or you just like taking L's. I don't know which one, or you just brave one of the two. Either way, you most likely will race another car if you're in another fast car. That's why your insurance is another reason why it's going to be mostly expensive. You also want to go ahead and check out a bunch of insurance companies, because every insurance company offers you something different. That plays another huge factor in car insurance. So if you're like new to the market, new to getting a car in period, it's about to be your first car ever, if I were you, I would price out your car with a lot of insurance companies. Just don't go with the first option you get. Like, I got friends that's paying $350 for insurance, $250 for insurance. Let me give you a good point. My friend that owned that Hellcat, before he contacted me, his insurance monthly for that Hellcat was $350. No speeding tickets, no nothing. $350, and he was a cop. So that tells you how crazy expensive insurance can be. My other friend has a Camaro 2015, 2016, 2017, can't exactly sure. His insurance for that car was $250, and he has speeding tickets. So why does my friend who has a brand new Hellcat with no prior issues whatsoever have $350 car insurance a monthly, and my other friend who has speeding tickets and owns a Camaro that's a lot older has a cheaper insurance but has speeding tickets? That most likely came down to the insurance company. Every insurance company policy is something different. They write something different, and there's a lot of things that they can offer you or not offer you regarding insurance. And you definitely want to have good coverage, because the last thing you want to do is get into a car, it gets totaled by you or somebody else, and then you don't have enough money to pay the car off. So now you gotta $80,000 car, once you drive it a lot, it might go down to, let's just say 60 grand, and you get into a car accident and the insurance going to say, well, we're going to give you 60 grand, but now you still owe $80,000 on it. So that's $20,000 that you have to pay out of your pocket just because, somebody totaled your car or you didn't have the proper insurance. So with that being said, the one thing you want to do is when you're actually getting insurance is you want to look into GAP. GAP is something that a lot of people just don't know about. GAP is really important. I have GAP on this car. I have GAP on my other Corvette. I do not have GAP on my Ford Fusion or my Trailblazer. Let me go ahead and explain to you what GAP actually is. And GAP isn't that expensive, you guys. I'm telling you right now, it's super affordable. It is worth every penny of that car. So I can tell you right now, GAP insurance is definitely really, really important. How you doing? Have you ever driven a Corvette before? I understand. You too, sir. Yes, sir. So I want to go ahead and explain GAP insurance. I'm going to kind of give you a brief, small description. GAP insurance is very important. It doesn't cost that much. What GAP insurance does, at least from my understanding, if you're driving any type of car whatsoever and you get GAP insurance, if somebody hits you from behind or you total your own car, what the case may be, and the bank says, okay, you owe us $80,000 on this car still, but the insurance company says it's worth 60. So they wrote us a check for 60. You still owe us $20,000. That GAP insurance is supposed to cover the rest of that car, which means that that GAP insurance will pay off $20,000. Most of the time, GAP insurance, in my personal opinion, only costs $100. So if it was me, I would go ahead and get GAP insurance, guy, because GAP insurance is very important. I'm telling you that right now, especially if you're going to drive something on this type of level, definitely get GAP insurance. I mean, regardless of what car you own or buy or decide to get, I definitely advise you to get GAP insurance. It is very, very important. Now, another thing that a lot of people are unsure about when they ask me about my insurance payment and why it is what it is because they be like, well, do you have full coverage? Well, full coverage is something that you will always need to get on a brand new car, whether or not you pay cash, whether or not you're making monthly payments. Now, I will say, if you are making monthly payments, you're going to have to get full coverage regardless. The banks is going to require you to get full insurance. That's just how it works, which is liability and collision. I'm going to explain the difference between the both of those. Now, liability is something that you have to get if you are owning the car, period. Like if you go out there and, for instance, if I bought my 2011 Ford Fusion, the car isn't worth much, so I only have liability on that car. It's not worth anything. So for that reason, liability is very important because you have to get that in order to drive a car, period. All I have is liability on my Ford Fusion. I do not have full coverage. The car is probably worth like $2,500 or something like that. Now, collision is something you will have to get if you buy a brand new car and you making monthly payments. Like I said before, the bank is going to require you to have that. I do not have collision on my Ford Fusion. So let me explain. If I'm driving my Ford Fusion and I hit someone else, then my liability will cover that person's car. But if I don't have collision, that means I'm responsible for covering my own car. Once again, the Ford Fusion doesn't cost me that much. It's only I think it's only worth $2,500. So for me, paying a monthly payment on collision isn't worth owning that car. With this car, I have to have collision and liability, and with my C8 Corvette, I have to have liability and collision because that's what the bank requires since I am making a monthly payment on both of those cars. For my Trailblazer, I only have liability. That Trailblazer is not worth no more than about $995, but that Trailblazer is a freaking bullet. I did not get collision because it's not worth much. So if somebody totaled it, they'll pay my car off. If I total it, then I have to figure out what I need to do with it because at that point it's not worth me paying collision for that vehicle. So that's the difference between liability and collision on my end and from my knowledge of understanding car insurance. Now, if you go out and buy yourself a brand new Honda Accord and you pay cash for that car, you can only get liability. Like, you can only get liability, but I don't think that's smart. If you go out and buy a brand new Prius, a brand new Corvette, and you just want to skimp by and say, I'm just going to get liability, I think that's a big problem because if you wreck that car and you don't have collision, the insurance company is not going to pay for that car. They're just going to pay for the person's car in front of you if you hit somebody else or your car is just done altogether. So with that being said, if you have a brand new car of any sort, or if it's somewhat newer, even if it's used, if it's like a 2017 used Corvette, something like that, you need to get both liability, and collision. It's very important for you to get those things. I'm telling you right now, it is very important for you to get those things. My YouTube channel is about giving people the knowledge to understand how to purchase a car, how to get good credit, how to get the car of your dreams, how to get the right insurance company, and all that great stuff. I'm telling you right now, I'm not one of those YouTubers who will do a burnout from here to there and my wheel come off and I got to figure out how to pay for it. Maybe at some point if I had extra money laying to the side and I can, damage a car, whatever the case may be, I don't know. But, I make an earnest living, I make an earnest payment on this car, and the last thing I'm going to do is tear it up. Once again, get liability and collision if you're buying a brand new or somewhat new or used car, because it's very important, because if something happens, you want that car to be fully covered. Totally get gap insurance, because it is very important and it's not that expensive. All three of those things I recommend as far as car insurance goes. Now, you got so many car insurance out here. You got State Farm, you got Geico, you got Erie, you got Nationwide, Allstate. Like the list goes on, the General, and all those insurance companies can write you a different policy and all could be different pricing, even though you're the same person with the same car. That's just how insurance works. So when you time to buy a new car, definitely price out insurances through all those companies. Now, when I bought this car, I did not price out my insurance company because I've been happy with my insurance company. My insurance company has been the best since I've been with them. I had nothing bad to say about them whatsoever. They have insured numerous of my cars. Haven't had any issue when a rock came off and hit the windshield. That also was covered through my insurance company. Another thing that made that windshield covered through my insurance company, because I had a 0 deductible. Now, let me go ahead and explain the deductible, because a lot of people are going to understand what that is all about. Now, regarding the deductible, you have 0 deductible, you have $500, you have $1,000 deductible. Obviously, the higher your deductible, the cheaper your payment. The lower your deductible, the higher your payment. And if you're a person that's good with saving money like I am and spending it in the right places, other than like buying Jordans and stuff and wearing little silly stuff like I wear every day, you can pretty much say, as most people, I think, on average, probably get the $500 deductible. Because, if you got $500 in a save account and somebody hits you or you hit somebody else, you can go to your bank account and pull out that $500 and pay your insurance, and then they will cover everything from there. If you got the 0 deductible, then you don't have to come out of your pocket at all, but your insurance is going to be more expensive depending on what kind of car you get. So in my personal opinion, I would say it makes sense to at least get the $500 deductible and put that money to the side if you have any issues. That also makes a big difference in your car payment. So just like I said, all this stuff I'm saying, your insurance payment will be different than somebody else. If somebody come to you and you both have the same type of car, same age, same everything, but he decides to get $500 deductible, the other guy decides to do $0, that's going to make a difference in the payment. Probably not that big of a difference, but probably make a difference. Another thing that can make a difference in a car payment, and a lot of you guys may know this already, is multi-policy discount. If you got multiple cars, you got your house, life insurance, umbrella policy, all that great stuff, that will also determine your insurance as well. So I'm trying to give you guys some knowledge and some information that you may not know about, or you may already know about, that you can teach somebody else while watching this video, that all these things definitely apply to why your insurance could be what it is. Now, back to what's at hand. A lot of you guys have been asking me, how much is my C8 Mid Engine Corvette Mid Engine insurance payment? And I'm not gonna lie, I love this car to death. You guys are gonna be super shocked with this, but my C8 Mid Engine monthly insurance payment is $66. Yes, only $66. A lot of you guys are like, whoa, what the heck? Even my friend who has a $350 insurance car payment was so surprised. He was like, oh yeah, well, if your insurance payment is $66, then mine is definitely going to be cheaper than yours, because you own a Corvette and your Corvette's faster, and I got a 4-door car and blah, 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 blah. It's a lot faster than this car, as far as from a road goes, not from a dig. But yes, my insurance for my C8 Mid Engine Corvette is $66. A lot of stuff still applies with that monthly car insurance payment, but any monthly insurance payment, I think, for a car like this, $150 or below, is definitely reasonable. I don't know exactly what you guys' monthly insurance payment is for your vehicles, whether or not you own a Corvette, Mustang, Hellcat, Challenger, truck, what the case may be. All that stuff is different. I remember when I was actually considering buying a 2020 GMC Denali at one point, before the market came the way it was, I priced out that vehicle as well monthly insurance payment. It was only 20 bucks higher than this one for the year. So it just all depends on what you're getting and what you want to get into. I hope this information definitely helped you guys. I really greatly appreciate you for watching this video. Once again, for my birthday, all I ask is you give this video a thumbs up, each and every one of you. Give everybody comment down below a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below as well. And if you want to check out my website, you know, check out some of this cool merch as well. You know, my t-shirts online, I discounted those. And you know, a lot of you guys have been receiving email. Nathan Moses, a lot of you guys sent me emails saying you received the product. You know, Jack, Jake, all you guys that sent me emails saying you received your products through the mail. I'm greatly appreciated for that, because I know the postal service is a little bit behind on those things. But I thank you for your support on the channel. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in another episode of C8 Speed 25.